We'll be replacing a tire on the RX7. This is the same process when replacing a tube or a motor. This is the tools you will need. Now the first step is with your 21mm socket, loosen the axle nuts holding the motor in place. Just loosen them, don't take them out yet. Now the next step, with a pair of snippers or scissors, cut the zip ties holding the motor cable onto the swing arm. So you will see two zip ties, one the closest to the motor and one on the back, kind of down the shock. So once you do so, you can go ahead and completely remove the axle nuts and also the lock washer. Or you just pull the motor apart like so. Now this connection can be hard to pull out, so use both hands, push and pull at the same time, like this. And now, to have more space to work on your tire, we'll have to remove the brake disc with a T25 Torx tool. So remove these 6 bolts holding it onto the motor. Set it aside and now flip the tire. Now we will put our tire on an old tire, or you can use a stool or something just to put your motor and tire in place. We will use our tire levers and we will have to use our knee to release pressure from the tire. Now we can pry with our tire lever. Then do the same with the other one. Then we just go all around the tire until we popped it off. Now we have to put our wheel standing up, and we'll push with this hand and with the other hand the opposite way, like so. Now we get our new tire and we'll go ahead and install it. The best way to do so is to set your tire with the motor cable facing up, and then at a slight angle like this. Then all you have to do is push. Make sure it's flush. Then you have to use your knee as well. So you have to do is push with your knee, and at the same time with your hand push the tire upwards to the motor. Then we'll grab our tire lever, stick it in and pry, and then push, use our knee. So push, pry, push, pry, and so on. You will go do the same thing all around it. All we have to do is inflate our tire to the right PSI with an air compressor. We'll fill it up to 2.5 bar. When you have your tire inflated, you can go ahead and put the valve cap back on, then flip your motor and install the brake disc back in place. There will be an arrow that you need to align or install correctly so it's facing forward. Now screw back in the 6 T25 bolts in place. Now the next step is to put back your motor into the swing arms. So make sure this cable right here is facing downwards. Now all you have to do is slide the motor into the swing arms and tighten the axle bolts right here. Make sure the lock washer sits in place, like so. Now tighten these axle nuts as much as you can. Like so. Now the next step is to plug back in your motor. Make sure it's aligned properly. There should be an arrow for reference and a groove on one of the connections. Now the last step is to zip tie your cable onto the swing arm as it was before. There should be 2 zip ties holding it. So one zip tie closest to the tire or the motor. Make sure it's tight. And the last one is on the back of the swinger. Now just cut the excess zip tie, both, and that's it.